Hey guys, it's Dan here. You're joining me as I put the finishing touches on my next video, but I thought I'd give you a really quick hot take today about steroids because PewDiePie just released a video talking about steroids and whether or not he might take them and looking at bodybuilders who do take them. Now, I'm a doctor. I work for a company that does blood tests and I see hundreds, if not thousands of steroid bloods, and I've been through them all. In that video that PewDiePie does, he says that he doesn't really understand them or how they work or the risks. So I'm here to just tell you super quick about a few things which might be useful. So I'm based in the UK, and in the UK at the moment, steroids are not the domain of elite athletes like Lance Armstrong anymore. About 1 million people are estimated to do it in the UK. Now that's loads, that's probably more than you think. Should they do them? Well, it's a really complicated subject. Why do people take steroids? Is it just because they want to be big? Do they watch Marvel movies and see all these hunks? Are they aspiring to this kind of body? I mean, it's really complex and it's quite societal. But steroids are really, really, really dangerous for your health, especially if you use them wrong. So often you might see a doctor if you take steroids and they'll say, stop taking them. But you probably won't stop taking them, and then you might not engage with the medical system. So I like to think of it, it's a bit like a needle exchange. I think you should be thinking about steroids and how they're affecting your health. And you shouldn't be listening to the big guy down the gym. You should be looking at the research and listening to trusted sources. The truth is, yes, steroids, they are a replacement for testosterone. So they stimulate the same receptors, which means it's anabolic. So anabolic builds you up. Androgenic means the male characteristics, and steroids are the class of drugs. So these are called anabolic androgenic steroids, or AAS. Now, when you take them, they do the same job as testosterone, just in turbo mode. And that means they have effects that, yes, you can get nice and strong, you can build muscle, but what else does it do? Well, if you work our way through the body systems super fast, red blood cells, it makes more of them, it makes it thicker. Now, that's kind of good for oxygen, but when it gets too thick, it means your blood gets all sticky. And if you have too much of it, it might stick together and clot. And if it clots in your heart or your head, that's a heart attack or a stroke. Your liver, well, some steroids are directly toxic to your liver, so it can damage it, and that might be irreversible. Your cholesterol, you have good cholesterol and you have bad cholesterol. Steroids turn the bad cholesterol up and they put the good cholesterol down. That again increases your cardiovascular risk, so heart attacks, strokes, that kind of thing. And when you lift weights, like a deadlift or a squat, you're forcing a lot of blood up into your chest and into your head. So that's increasing your risk regardless of taking steroids. So you can see how it's compounding it as it moves along. Hormones themselves, well, it really affects your testosterone, which can cause things including hair gain in the beard, hair loss in the head, and women will have those changes as well. Women may also have a lower voice. Men might grow man boobs or moobs, and you might get acne and other things that you might not like. Testicles, they may shrink. Your libido may go down, it may go up when you're on steroids, and all your hormones get a bit disrupted. But when you come off steroids, your body is going to try and restore its natural balance. Now, for quite a lot of people, that can happen, but for some people, it doesn't. They say you've burnt your balls out, which means that they don't really work anymore. So that's something to bear in mind if you're considering kids or fertility in the future. So the take-home message with steroids is if you're going to do them safely. So one, don't needle share. If you're going to inject it, that goes without saying. But also test yourself. I can't emphasize that enough. Test yourself regularly. You do blood tests at regular intervals, and you can keep an eye on your markers, your hormones and your organ systems. If things are going wrong, stop. Okay, then the other thing that PewDiePie mentions is something to do with body dysmorphia. So body dysmorphia is a range of disorders, including things like anorexia, which you have heard of. You may not have heard of muscle dysmorphia. Now, muscle dysmorphia is the need to feel like you're not big enough. So you're gonna go to the gym all the time, you're gonna build up muscle, and it's something that is really hard to satisfy. Again, an awful lot of people have this problem, and like I said earlier, it's quite societal. we see a lot of stuff on TV, on Instagram. It's really unhealthy. We've had the conversation about women, about, models on billboards and on Instagram and how unhealthy that is. The same is true the other way around. And a lot of men look at, the Marvel hunks, and it's quite unattainable, but you feel like you need to do something about it. So you start going to the gym, loads and loads and loads. You start trying to build muscle. You stop going to engagements that you were going to go to go to the gym instead. You feel really bad about yourself. You are focusing on little niggles here and there. My arms are too small. My legs are too small. Something's not right. And yes, this can and mostly does affect people who are looking to be bodybuilders. That can be men or women, but it can also affect anyone. Anything from my nose is too small is like is not a muscle dysmorphia, but is a body dysmorphia. When it involves being big, that's your muscle dysmorphia. It can affect anyone, and it's a real problem. It affects men more than women because a lot of men are into that bodybuilding thing, and it might move them onto steroids. All the problems I said earlier. The thing is, we don't really talk about mental health enough in general, let alone more niche mental health, like something like this. So I think that you need to check yourself. If you feel like you're looking at yourself in the mirror too much, or you hate the sight of yourself because it's not good enough, if you feel you're in the gym and something's not right, even though you're going to the gym every single day and you're looking at your routine, you're having 23.3 grams of protein, 48.2 grams of fat, or whatever you're doing, then you might need to stop and might need to check yourself. And sometimes when you're in it, it's quite difficult. So then someone who loves you can check in on you as well. So if you see your friend blowing off social engagements, spending too much time in the gym, not thinking about the wider things, they're just focused on their body image, maybe it's time for you to have a talk with them. And can something like muscle dysmorphia be treated? Yes, but it's not super easy like mental health. It's quite encompassing. There's going to be an element of denial, I'm sure, but it's going to be coming from everyone. So you want your friends, your family, your GP, your counsellors, everyone talking to someone. It's a bit of CBT, maybe antidepressants, and then over time, you might feel a bit better in yourself and you might understand what's been going on up here, the causes, and how to feel a bit better. This is just a super quick run through of stuff. I haven't really gone into detail. I have written 2 blogs about it, one about steroids, one about body dysmorphia in the last couple of weeks. So link in the bio down below. If you'd like me to do a video about steroids and about steroid bloods, please do let me know. I can do them. I did blood test videos in a more general way earlier on. And also next week, the medicine or the physiology of climate change is coming out, hence the green screen. So subscribe, take a look at that. It's out next week. I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, super quick hot take, probably not that quick anymore, but there you go. Steroids, be careful. Body dysmorphia, be open to it. See you later. Bye.